If you're an audio fanatic like me, or just thinking about how to upgrade how you're listening to music or podcasts, you have to know about Victrola. They have been bringing innovation and style together since 1906. I'm going to tell you about one of their products that I got called the Journey Plus. It's a great sounding Bluetooth speaker and record player that's affordable and can link to my other Bluetooth speakers. It sounds so good and now sits on top of my old record player. They have over 30 different color options, so it fits in any room of the house. And of course, I got mine wrapped in denim. If you've ever seen us perform live, you know about my obsession with wrapping guitars and other stuff in denim. But they already did it for me. Right now, to show off their online record store, they're having special savings like free shipping on orders over $35 or more, as well as a great deal of 15% off if you buy 3 records from their record store. I got the new Run the Jewels record. I got a Stone Temple Pilots Holland import. They have tons of stuff on there, so make sure to check it out. So go to makingnoisepod.com/Victrola for your savings. That is makingnoisepod.com/VICTROLA for your special offers today.
3, 5.
And that's why I never put a cat on a leash.
Welcome to Making Noise, everybody. My name is Todd Johnson. With me, as always, is the impressionable Mr. Jay Connor.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Yeah, how are y'all doing? This is a very one-sided conversation. How are you? Did you get the thing done today that you needed to do?
Because you had a timeline and you should have just did it.
You had a timeline. You made a list and you said, I'm not going to do it. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. The power of positivity.
Power of positivity. We learned a lot about that today.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel fantastic after talking to our guest today because I realized certain things that she was saying and stuff, and it kind of made me go like, yeah, I have this anxiety. It's just myself, just telling myself I need to hurry up and get stuff done. I was like, it's okay. So our guest today is Sydney Duarte. She is a visual artist who works in many different mediums. I met her when she was doing a mural in Charlotte, and we just kind of had a conversation. I was like, we have to get her on the show. She's such
phenomenal. Great. Yeah, it was great having her on.
Yeah, absolutely. We really enjoyed having her here. So this episode as well is going to be on YouTube, and we're going to show a lot of the images and art that she's done. If you want to see a lot of the work, as we're talking about it, we'll kind of pop it up there. So make sure to check it out on our YouTube page as well. So this is our conversation with Sydney Duarte.
Traveling Gypsy.
Done.
Perfect.
Bam.
I have a lot of questions.
All the questions.
A lot of questions. My first question is
Are we on? Is this happening?
Sure.
Is that like ice or is that an actual crystal?
This is a crystal.
It is an actual crystal.
Yeah,
What
it's
kind of
an
crystal
amethyst.
It's an amethyst crystal.
And
so
you
for anybody who can't see, look, she has a water bottle. I know this is a podcast. It's a water bottle, but it has an amethyst crystal inside of it. And when you first came in, I thought, oh man, that's neat. I bet you put that in the freezer and the crystal gets cold, and it's probably like ice, and it keeps the water cold.
You could do that, and the bottom screws out so you could put different types of crystals in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't notice that was a crystal. I thought it was just like a rad freezer thing.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
Yeah.
And then as I looked at it, as I was sitting over there, I was like, what is that over there? I don't think that's I bet that is a crystal. I mean, because when your handle's Traveling Gypsy, right? I expect some little crystal-y things somewhere.
That's funny.
What were you saying? So what were you saying about that crystal? What was that in the water?
So different crystals, they purify the water. But if you have a different intention, so like rose quartz, a pink crystal is for like self-love or love for others. So amethyst, purple, is all about like transmutation. So if there's something negative that's going on in your life, then you can transmute it. Or just like already having the intention before you ever leave the house, that whatever is going on in your own personal world is going to stay in the good vibes, and whatever comes at you is just going to transmute into love, happiness, joy.
So you're not bringing bad transmutation and dropping it off here.
No.
Okay, that's why I was just making sure.
Todd doesn't need any more bad transmutation.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to get you a crystal bottle.
Maybe.
So I go, there are several different springs in the area, natural springs that you can go and fill up big water jugs for free. You just like pull up luckily someone has already done the work. They climbed up the mountain, put piping, so you you just have free water that's good for you. All the minerals are already in there, and like no filtration needed because Mother Earth already did everything you need. And then that's better than buying bottled water because all the plastic can. Oh, sorry.
Let me put this.
Hey man, I got a reusable one.
Let me put this
Reusable right here, baby.
I'm gonna put what I got at the 7-Eleven earlier down, and then no, but you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's free water.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
So do you recharge the crystals?
Yeah, you can. So if you really want to go into that, there's like new moon and full moon rituals where you're kind of putting your intention. So full moon is all about like releasing and letting go of anything that no longer serves you in your life, or that might be holding you down, weighing you down, holding you back. And then new moon is all about like new intentions and like what do you want to be calling into your life.
Okay.
And then so yeah, you can just put them out under the moon.
Put them under the moon, right? And recharge them every once in a while.
I mean, you can do it anytime you want, really. The moon's always out, but it's just kind of, that's a good, every month, that's going to happen twice a month. And then you're always checking in with yourself to see, oh man, am I feeling heavy? Is something like bothering me, weighing heavy on my heart? I need to let that go. And then once you clear space for whatever was weighing you down, then you're like, oh, I have all this space, so much room for activities. Like, what do you want to call into your life?
Right. Well, it's a good way to just kind of reset yourself and actually take the time to constantly.
I would like to point out that she just quoted Step Brothers in the middle of talking about recharging crystals.
Yeah, I think that's what the movie was about, actually.
Recharging crystals.
I think I kind of watched Step Brothers.
Messages.
I think I think it's about.
That's definitely what it's about.
Definitely about crystals.
Definitely.
Will Ferrell, total crystal guy.
I can see him with a lot of crystals.
Yes.
Actually.
Well, when did you start kind of working with crystal and learn that kind of stuff, and like just to kind of help yourself and straighten it, like, because that the amount of information already is I'm overwhelmed, and I'm also on Amazon buying crystals.
I don't want to. One, I don't ever want to overwhelm you. But it could be overwhelming to people that are like, whoa, there's so much to learn about all the things. But that's how you start with anything in life, right? You got to
Like how long has this been a part of your life to keep yourself
super intentional with knowing what each one means and what they do for you in your life? Probably like the last 7 or 8 years. Since I was a kid, my dad would take us to those cheesy side of the road mining, where you get the little sifter and you find like the crystals like itty bitty tiny. But I always had, like, I love Mother Nature. I love to, anytime I can be outside, that's where I'm at. And, you can find all kinds of cool looking rocks whenever you're walking around anywhere. And it's kind of up to you, whatever intention you want to put into that stone. That could be, like, it doesn't have to be this, like, clean cut, beautiful crystal. It could be anything you want. There's a really cool company called Energy Muse that they give you, like, a little card that gives you the description. And there are several businesses in town. The Bag Lady, you go in and ask, I don't know, if you have, if you need to be more grounded, if you want to call in love, if you just want self-love, if you want... oh my gosh, so many things.
The Bag Lady will get to, this is the right crystal. It's like your artisan crystal maker.
Yeah, well, and knowing they source sustainable. Like, have you ever seen the movie Blood Diamond? Where
no, but I know what you mean. Where they're talking about, yes.
Yeah, there are some people that are doing bad things, like taking over whole communities and treating them poorly. But so places like that are getting crystals that are
self-sustainable.
Well, they took care of the people as they were mining them. And
right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So you said you were doing that with your dad. Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
Born in Texas, grew up in Kentucky.
Okay.
I've been in Charlotte for the last 19 years. I didn't think that I would stay, but here I am.
What brought where in Texas?
Texas, Katy, Texas, and then Ashland, Kentucky.
Okay.
It's a tiny little mining town, coal mining. And then when I came to Charlotte,
is that what your dad did, or?
No. So my dad's from Guatemala.
Okay.
And then he met my mom in Texas. She was there for art school, going to the Art Institute of Houston, and then here I am from that. And then we moved back to Kentucky where she had grown up. And then, took a winding road, and now I'm in Charlotte.
Yeah. What brought you here?
To be closer to my family. My mom and my brother had come here. I wanted to help be a big part of his life and raise him a bit. And he is like me times 10 on crack as far as energy level goes. So and when he was younger, he had like so much energy. So he was, getting in trouble at school. And there are a lot of teachers out there that, or just people in general, if you're marked as the like super intense, high enthusiasm kid,
let's drug him and sit him in the corner.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And that's not what I'm about. So,
yeah.
Because they tried to do that to me too, like diagnose you as ADHD, but kids just have lots of energy. You can't drug everybody up. And
what 7-year-old doesn't want to run around?
Exactly. And some kids just learn differently. Like me, I'm super hands-on. And if I see it, if I see it, I got it. Reading it in a book, it's kind of boop. Out, it's gone. And he's the same. So I just went and had a conversation with a lot of the teachers, and some of them were on board with me in teaching in a new style, and some were like, no way. And the ones that were open to shifting, they were like, I can't believe this is the same kid. He started getting all A's and was more focused, and I don't know. Anyway, yes, that is why I came to Charlotte.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then luckily someone said, so I was in corporate world, and then someone said, I think you'd really like the Noda neighborhood. And then I never left.
So it's like you go to Noda, and then it's like instantly like, this is what I'm doing. I'm dead serious. I'm the same way. I was like,
hippie.
She from the corporate world right into it. Just turned down the wrong street. And no, a place like all joking aside, a place like Noda and playing there and doing all this is, and seeing all the artists and creatives is definitely for me, just hanging out in that area. Was definitely something that I go, you know what, I need to get back into doing this full time. I need to get back into being a musician again. So I completely understand like that little bit of a jump. What did you, if you don't mind me asking, what did you do in corporate world?
Have you ever heard of EPRI, the Electric Power Research Institute?
No, but I have now.
So they do anything dealing with research for electricity. So nuclear, sustainable, renewable energy. All anything dealing with energy. That's what they are involved in. And at first I was on the nuclear side, and then I shifted to the environment side, doing project management and event planning, and then because I was always, I moved quick, so I would finish the work that was assigned to me, and then I got bored, so I would go play back in the welding labs or just tinkering around, and then they would always create new jobs for me because they're like, what do we do with you? And then I got certified in several of their engineering certification programs, and I don't know, I had a bunch of, when I left, they had to hire 5 other people to replace my job.
Spread out everywhere. Yeah.
So were you an engineer by education?
No.
You just kind of fell into it?
Yep.
Well, you like to figure it out with your hands and hands on, so that's a natural thing to do.
Yeah, growing up,
sure.
If something wasn't working, or if I wanted to know like why does it work the way that it does, I'd take it apart and then either put it back together or put it back together better than what it was. And being in corporate world, it was a lot of people that it was an older generation that said, well, this is how we've always done it because this is how we've always done it. And I'm like, but why? It doesn't make sense. So then I would, come up with new solutions, and they're like, what? We didn't even think about that's way more efficient.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just always being able to ask questions, and just because someone tells you this is how we do it
doesn't mean that's always
right. Like if you have a better idea, speak up, because I met a lot of people in corporate world that bit their tongue and they had a lot of good ideas, and I find a lot of people do that, and it's like, but why though? You have so many good ideas. Don't be afraid to speak up. You can be your biggest cheerleader, or you could be your biggest critic. And then to go into a corporate space where you have to like not be a robot, but sort of you're doing the same thing over and over, like the Lego movie. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Like you wake up, you drink your coffee, you do the same thing, and then you go to sleep, and then you do it all over again. But I mean, at least have fun with it if that's what you have to do. If you're paying bills and like that's where you have to be in this moment, how can you have fun in that moment? And how can you, like, just because it's a boring desk job, how can you brighten someone else's day, or how can you brighten your own day? And
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
I could definitely see where you probably did good in that area, but we're probably very ready to get out of it.
Yes.
Like,
Well, I stayed there for 17 years actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, finally. So going into murals was my full-time jump out of that. I always taught yoga on the side, and I would make smaller pieces on the side. But
okay.
yeah, 2 years ago, I looked at my mom in corporate world, and she was kind of fading, just kind of sad. Like she doesn't want to be at a desk job either. And
Right.
I was like, why don't we paint something? Why don't we go like create something really big and just have fun with it? And she'd never painted me or my brother before because she was afraid like it wouldn't look like us. And I said, so pushing her out of her comfort zone, I was like, well, let's just paint something that is like that. And if you don't like it, we can paint over it. And I was like, well, where do we begin in doing this? Because my favorite thing to do when I'm traveling to another city, and even in Charlotte, is always to find the street art.
Where the street art, where the murals and stuff.
And I like that's just always been. It's just a fun thing to see a new piece, something that came out of someone else's mind.
So was this a mural that y'all, your first mural that y'all did together?
Our first mural that we did together. When I first talked to her, the next day I was at an ice cream shop with my friend, and we were talking about. Like, I was like, I don't know. I asked my mom, and she's not sure about it, but I don't even know where to begin. And then the owner overheard us, and he was like, well, I have a wall outside.
Awesome.
And then I was like, great. So there's like step one. And then,
one very important thing.
yes.
What ice cream shop?
Oh, Two Scoops Creamery in Plaza Midwood.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
They have great ice cream.
They do have great
That
ice
stuff's
cream.
good, man.
Yeah, and I love that they support local art. There are
Right.
several other artists on the side of the building, and yeah, I mean, the worst thing that happens is like any dream you have. If you try it and you fail, who cares? At least you tried.
You tried.
And then
You did it. Yeah. Exactly.
Do better the next time, or maybe that was like your
Maybe that's the building block that gets you to the next thing in some way. It's always a building block to the next thing.
And also talking about your dreams. Had I not been talking about it out loud, the owner wouldn't have heard me, and then it wouldn't have turned into what it did. True. And just putting your heart into everything that you do. So the message on that building was a message to myself to leave corporate world. It says, you can't make everybody happy. You're not ice cream. So do the things that light you up, and everything else will fall into place. So
that's great. Yeah.
And in doing that, there were two ladies that had walked by on 2 different days, and both of them cried because of that message. And
oh, wow. Well, of course. And it's so easy to not be reminded of things like that.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you're talking about the Lego movie, we're in the grind, we're doing this. It's so easy to kind of forget to make sure that you're happy.
Yeah.
You know, that's a super easy thing to do. I mean, with any profession or anything. But yeah, no, that's a great message.
People forget about themselves, and you're your number one.
Absolutely. It was so, just like side note, meeting you so I met you at Oh My Soul. And it was so cool. I was walking in to set up for a show, and you guys were just doing like the base layer, like just painting it white or something, you know, just to do the mural. And Rich was talking to me. He was like, "Oh, it's going to be fantastic. We're going to do this, you know." And so, you know, I would take a set break and I'd come out and like just see so it was kind of weird by my just being there and playing like a show the next week or something, just the way it was stacked. I got to see you make it and then watch it grow, and to see the mural that's out there today, and it's fantastic, both sides.
Thank you.
You know, and then the side with the animals and just how detailed and everything it is, so you said your mom was an art major. Is that what you were?
Yeah. So she went to school for art, and then me self-taught and also hanging around. Well,
so it's your mom. You know, you're gonna pick up some. You know, pick up some tips from mom.
Yeah, and so it was always fun because my brother and I had so much energy. She would give us like lots of, you know, those ceramic little characters that you can paint and put in the oven, and then like anything like that bead making or painting or clay, so we just always had all kinds of different mediums to keep us occupied, and so I'm grateful that she encouraged that in a big way. And it's been fun creating with her because that's not something I ever imagined was going to be happening. And we have made other like furniture and some other stuff in the past, but this is our first time like bringing our superpowers together to spread joy and colorful. I don't know, take a blank space and make it colorful so that other people can be like, whoa, yay.
So when you're like planning for something like a mural or doing that, how vastly different is it? Because I mean, I'm like watching on Instagram and you're painting at home and all that stuff. How vastly different is it coming in to like paint like the wall of Oh My Soul? Because it's incredibly detailed.
Yeah. Versus painting at home?
Painting at home or just something on that scale. Like, do you guys have to grid it out or something? Or?
Yeah,
okay.
So usually our larger walls, we grid it out. And for those that aren't familiar with that, you would take the wall, and our grids we fill the wall with words of positivity. So, I don't know. It's just like the love that you put in, that's what I want other people that visit the wall to feel that and to be like, whoa, this is a good piece. And even when we're writing all those words on the wall, there are messages like what the Two Scoops Creamery was. They're just good, positive messages that everybody needs to hear, usually messages to ourselves. And when we're done filling the wall with those words, people are like, whoa, this is great. I'm like, this is just the base layer. You're never going to see these words ever again. It's for us to know, like, when on this word love, that's where the eyeball hits. Or on I don't know, joy, that's where the shoulder hits. Or you just so you fill the wall with words, take a photo of the image, and then you overlay your drawing on top of that so you can see
kind of what that would look like.
Yeah.
So that so you're making art in the prep even.
Yeah.
That's going to be there. Mm-hmm. Wow, okay.
Yeah. I mean everything for me is art. And the way that you interact with someone, and the way my art is also like connection and bringing people together. So that's all throughout my life, in the yoga that I teach, in the, I don't know, just smiling at someone, or, I mean, everybody's always moving so fast throughout life. We don't take the time to see everyone around us. And so, I like doing all the public art pieces because people stop and they talk and they're like, whoa. And then it reminds them of maybe a childhood memory, or makes them think of a dream that they want to start that has been sitting on the back burner for a while. Like, so many different emotions.
It's inspiring. It's good. It gives you a little sense of scale too, because it's usually bigger than yourself. Mm-hmm. So it makes it that much more important.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question. I got a question because I'm Southern and I have a hard time with things. And when we were looking at the name, is it Duarte?
It is.
There you go.
Bam! Bam! Right.
Bam!
We were right.
I just tell people, I mean, art is in my name.
Right.
Duarte.
So I heard that in the thing, and I was like, okay, so I'm probably right. Because I heard her say that. I was like, so it is Arte. Yeah,
you're right, crushing it. I got it. You did so good. No, some people obliterate it. They're like, Durante, but I'm like, no.
Durante sounds very much like that.
There's not even an N in there.
Yeah.
Are you related to those guys in that band?
Durante.
Are you hungry like a wolf?
Oh man. So with that, is that the main thing that y'all been doing it for 2 years? 2 years now.
Yeah, it's been about 2 years now.
Okay. So is it mainly going to be focused on murals, or it's the way you have it set up as designs? I didn't know if you said something about other furniture as well too.
Honestly, we do everything. That's the fun thing about anything you could dream up that needs to be painted or built or whatever needs to happen, we can make it. I do woodworking, I do pottery, I do glass blowing, I do all the things. But that's the fun part about Duarte Designs has been when people have been seeing, lately it's been more focused on murals, and people are like, I have a wall, I have a like a semi truck. One guy he transports race cars, and he was like, can you paint the side of this? Another guy wanted his whole driveway done. One person wanted their ceiling done. Some people are there's one that we just did for a group called Confetti Castle, and she does these crazy balloon
like balloon arches or something?
Yes, yeah, it's become a big thing over the last couple of years for different events and birthdays, and you'll see like the whole archway of a door is covered in balloons, or but they're massive balloons. They're like,
right.
And she was having a hard time where people in a photo, how do you take a scale size photo? Because a balloon could look this big when it's really this
Right.
big. So she wanted life-size characters, silhouettes to be holding the balloons, or that she could put the balloons beside. And so then I broke out my woodworking skills again and built these freestanding people that one's a little girl, one's a woman. But yeah, every job is so very different. So, and each company, you know, they have their own style, their own message they want to give. My favorite is when people just say, "We love what you do. We trust you. Go at it." I'm like, yes, that's what I've been waiting for. Because, you know, a logo, I want to support the business. I want them to have their message. But, like, how can you make it fun? How can you make people feel like part of the art? Why do you even want to bring art in here if it's not going to brighten someone's day?
No, I get that. I've done, like, a few, like corporate video where you're putting the audio together and you're saying, like, yes, I'm technically writing this, but like that versus me just writing my own song is a vastly different thing. So I get that.
I love it. Makes me so happy when you play at Oh My Soul. I know I haven't had a chance to see you in other locations yet, but like having live music still be out in the world and you can, like, that brightens people's day. It is so good.
It's ridiculous. I haven't gotten as much respect as a musician, and it's not since this has been going on with COVID and everything, and it's not that I was ever disrespected or anything like that, but it's just like there's so many things that are the norms and you get used to it. But you know, I played there last night and I did like 3 encores. Now I'm not saying that because I'm that good or anything. I just think people are so vastly appreciative when there can be live music right now. Like here we are at a restaurant in a tent. Like this is not a concert venue. Right. This is not that, you know, but people are just, it's so good to do something communally and music and art. And it's like, I think people are so hungry for that. And in the next year or so, it's going to, as regulations go down, as we can be safer, people are going to appreciate art and music and so much more, and kind of, you know, because I think people have taken stock.
Shared experiences.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're built for. We're all human, and connection is key. And that's like, that's why I loved So Far Sounds so much, because it was always, even though it brought everyone together, they had like not strict rules, but intentional rules of don't talk during the show, give the artist your full attention, and just like truly be in the moment. And so many people, you know, it's easy with all the electronics that we have to get distracted. If you want to take a video and a picture, great, do it, put it away, post that later. Be in the moment. And like, why did you even come to a show if you're not going to be fully in it? And I
stop watching concerts through your phone.
But it's so nice to see people like engaging in that way and maybe doing things that they have never done before. Like maybe they're showing up at different places like Oh My Soul because no one else is open, and that's great because they're coming to places that are being intentional and putting love and joy and music and art out into the world.
Right. Absolutely. You know, I think that, you know, finding the silver linings where we can with all this, you know, for sure, and seeing that. The interesting thing too, as far as like shared experience and stuff. So I know that I was seeing, as far as you're also a yoga instructor. And what was the TV thing where you were with the NASCAR team?
Oh yeah, they came in. So I've been teaching that group. That's the Ganassi racing team. I've been teaching them for about a year now, but last year they were on the road a lot. So some weeks were on, some weeks were off, because they get back home at like 3 a.m. and they're just exhausted. So, but they work hard, and they, you know, to an outside person, they're like these big muscly guys that, I mean, you can see in the video, they're just like lifting these massive tires and jacks and running around and always nonstop. And a lot of them are new dads, and they just are always on the go and don't ever get time for themselves. So I'm really proud of the people that started investing into the yoga program, because they see the importance of the balance of having time for your mind, time for yourself. Like even in Shavasana, the final resting pose, like some of them fall asleep because they don't even ever get time to just sit and be. And it's been really beautiful to watch them tap into themselves, because some of them, I think when we first started, are like, ugh, yoga's for girls, or like, I like to lift.
My masculinity won't allow me to enjoy,
right.
you know.
But then the counterbalance of it is they have some team members that are really like built guys that they know that they need that, and they by the other guys seeing them ease into the practice and be excited about it. I mean, you can still have strength. You can still have, if you need to sweat and have like a harder class, that's possible. There's so many different styles of yoga, but I check in with them every class, and I'm like, what do you need today? Or just feeling the energy. If they're like super energetic, then we do a more fast-paced class. If they're like dragging a bit, then I'm like, okay, we're gonna do a restorative class today.
Right.
And but yeah, that's been really fun and that's just one of the many groups that I teach. When the past year, a lot of it's had to go virtual. But you can still have connection with people. It's not quite the same, but you can still at least be with people that need to connect with themselves.
Right. Well, yeah, we've all had to find our ways to kind of work it out.
Yeah.
But like you said, like the experience of somebody going to Oh My Soul, or someone else that may be a little different that they wouldn't have gone to,
right?
Because it's open and available.
Yeah.
We're all kind of finding those weird ways. We're all so much more comfortable, I feel like, with being our own tech person as well. Like, like video and audio. Like everybody now has a microphone. It's like we all figured out. That we gotta step it up a little bit. So with the being able to do so many different kind of forms of art, is there one that you enjoy the most doing? Like, is it mainly doing visual, but like when you're saying you're doing woodworking or glass blowing, I don't know, it's like picking your children. Like which activity do you enjoy more?
Yeah, they're all like your babies.
Right.
Murals are definitely in the tippy top of the list, but I really love, I think one of my favorite pieces that we've done was like a full immersive room. It was in the bottom of an old bank in the vault room, and we transformed it into like a Candyland space. So it's like I don't know what you would call that. Like it's a full immersive,
which is like immersive art experience.
Yeah,
immersive art experience.
And I like illusion, and I've always loved magic. So getting people to tap into their inner child and remember how to play, or maybe they never played when they were a kid. So one of the things we did in that space, we took this old bathtub and turned it in, like from the outside it looked like a giant ice cream sundae, and we filled it with the ball pit colorful balls. Oh yeah. And you would see grown men, like huge 7 foot, that's very tall, but 6 foot tall men that were like doing, I don't know what this is, it's not a cannonball, but they would like jump on the side of the ledge and dive into it on their back, and balls were going everywhere. But just creating spaces that you feel fully immersed, and you get to just step out of your everyday stuff, whatever's going on, and you get to be in that moment and be like, whoa, this is crazy. All the walls are covered. We built like 3D ice cream cones and a giant chocolate bar, and
that's awesome.
suckers.
Where's this at?
It was in a place called Portal. They had to close down because of all the regulations.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, but because that was a lot of like,
right,
interactive spaces.
Probably can have people jumping into the ball pit.
But hopefully they open back up. I don't know. But just creating spaces like that, even if I were to create outdoor spaces, I love things like that. Building
something
dimensional,
interactive.
Something that you could climb on, something that you can. I don't know whether it's, and even on flat surfaces like the animal wall, you could the elephant looks like he's gonna put his trunk around you, or the giraffe has his head upside down, so you could like feed him a flower, or I don't know, there's so many, just being playful with something that could be an everyday thing. And
right.
I don't know, I guess those are my favorite things, whatever that turns out to be, because every project's so like, there's, I guess, did that answer the question? I feel like I'm rambling, I'm sorry.
No, it's a podcast. Please, God, keep rambling. That's the entire point. Okay. It's just rambling and us listening to ourselves over and over. No. That totally lets me know, because you know, when you were saying earlier, you know, sometimes it's so kind of client based, which you're always want to do, you know, and you always have to kind of meet in that area and still, but I was kind of curious. So like immersive things, interactive things, those are kind of more the thing that, you know, make you, that you enjoy more as an artist.
Yeah. Or just messages
okay.
that make people stop and be like, whoa, I didn't think about that. So
take time, take stock.
Yeah, there are 2 that we did a few months ago on the side of the Metropolitan. One is an Hourglass. So I had several friends and students that were dealing with depression whenever all the shutdown happened. They were like, what? I can't be out in the world. What's going on? So many emotions. And then, which is totally understandable. Your whole world just got flipped upside down. But then had someone close to me commit suicide, and like just thinking, you know, no matter how bad life gets, like to check in. This is why I'm always encouraging people to check in, reach out to someone, speak up, talk through your emotions, even if that's not something that's new to you. Talk through it, because life can always get better. No matter what you're going through, there's always a shift that's possible. So the Hourglass, we designed it. It's like another illusion piece that you can, standing in front of it, it looks like you are inside of the hourglass. And you could either let the sands of time take over you. So some people like pose like this. Some people are like breaking through the glass. It just depends. You see so many. That's the fun part about all the pieces too. Sometimes they resonate with the image. Sometimes it's the message. Sometimes it's the whole thing. People get super creative with our pieces, and I love just seeing how it brings new life with each new person. Things that have a story and make people think, and hopefully make them connect with other people in their lives in a different way. So when we first put out like what that piece meant, a lot of people messaged and said, I really needed that, or I just lost someone too, or my friend is going through this. You never know. Everybody's battling something. They're going through some type of battle, and just reach out to your people. Or if you don't have people, find a hobby that you love to do and meet people that love the same thing that you do. And
there's help, there's ways. Absolutely.
There's so many things out there, so many resources.
And to show that through art that's interactive that's a beautiful thing. Like that's what you did with that, to take unfortunately that hurt and do that with it. That's a really beautiful thing.
Thank you. And
absolutely.
Just not even, I don't know. I'm not great with measurements, but on the same side of the building, a little further down on the other end of it, is another wall that we did that says, may all of your vibes say, I got this. And that's something I've always said at the end of class, because when I'm teaching yoga, some people are, they feel like they're twisted like a pretzel, and they're like, oh, my body doesn't move this way. And then you'll start to get in your head and be like, well, that person can get in this pose and my legs don't move like that, or I'm not as bendy, or I'm not.
You start checking out and getting self-conscious.
Yes. And I just want to remind everybody, like, you've always got this, no matter what stage it is. Maybe you were wobbly today, but that just means you're building strength for the next class. And it doesn't matter. Like, embrace the wobbles. Have fun with it. Who cares if you fall down? The floor's not that far away. So,
right.
Like, you don't have far to go. And then you can just get back up and try again.
Yeah.
And, one of my students after class had said, like, I really needed that message. May all of your vibes say, I got this. Because yoga is not just on the mat. It's like, how are you living out throughout the rest of your day, through your life? And even if it's just coming back to your breath, how can you like shift your perspective in different ways to recenter yourself? If somebody's being mean to you, just take a moment, take a breath. If you just had a car accident, like, that sucks, but at least you're still alive. It's just a piece of metal. It's a material thing. It'll get fixed.
How do you ground yourself in these moments?
Yeah.
I really enjoy the positivity that you have. I hope that you never have a moment where you're like, I want to do art that makes people feel bad, or just or say that you're so good at like evoking positive and good emotions. don't ever turn to be a bad guy in a movie kind of situation, because you would be so good at something. Like, no, everyone should just hate everybody. You could convince people of all of that so well. I know that's an odd way of saying that.
No,
but you're a very wonderful, positive person to be around.
Thank you.
It always takes stock. And it's like, well, like, even like in my soul, it's like, this is great. Like, I'm sitting there's someone painting, people are eating food, I'm playing music. This is great. There's a cow, I think. Oh no, is that buffalo? I can't tell yet. This is gonna be fun. Like, it was just kind of this, fun experience. And now, so in a way, to me, that one, even though it's not as interactive as your other pieces, I see that, and to me, it was interactive because I got to see it.
Coming
made.
to life.
Yeah, but now I'm gonna have to on your website or something somewhere. Do you just have like a map of like, check out all our stuff?
Actually, I'm in the process of that, because a lot of people keep asking, and even though on our Instagram page they're tagged like the location, but I think a map to have all of them, because a lot of people want to get outside, they want a fun weekend adventure, or if their friends come into town, they want to show them around. So we're gonna make a little
sweet
treasure map of all the places.
Well, so one of the things that sticks out to me a lot about what you're talking about, right? So first off, all art is transformative, right? It's there to take you to a different place in some way, shape, or form. But for some artists, that is putting something on a wall or painting something or making a piece of music, and somebody experiences right then, and it's about how. It's not necessarily about how that person's interacting with that piece of art, right? It's about how that person's interpreting that piece of art sometimes, and how it makes them feel, right? And one of the things I think is cool about what you're talking about is when you talked about, well, if they stand over here, and take a picture with it, it's like they're inside of it. Or if they're over here, it's like they're handing somebody the giraffe's there to eat something. So there's this different level there that you put into it,
right? To
sort of. It's a different way to draw somebody in, right? Like if I'm gonna play a sax solo, I might play something that somebody's heard before, that lick that's always in that song, right? Oh, cool, it's good. What's he doing? Oh, now he's doing something else, right? And that's kind of how I get somebody in, or how Todd gets somebody in when he's singing. And that's very much in the moment, right? And it's very almost it's kind of reactive to what the people are doing, right? But you're being very proactive with the thought there. And drawing somebody into it and creating what you think is going to be a positive experience. And I think that's one of the things that makes what you do stand out.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would definitely agree with that. What's the best place to get to your website for what?
Instagram. It's
everything Instagram.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
Isn't it awesome how like years we have a website for this, but I mean it's and I'm not going to say the name of the people because they're not sponsoring us, but they sponsor every other podcast. But like most everything we do, like we have it and it's there just to, I guess, show that we have one. But it's like everything we do is just posted on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how, I'll have people like, can I hear your music? Or they'll ask where to find my music.
Right.
And they ask for my Instagram. I'm like, well, you can find me on Spotify. And they're like, no, I want to find your Instagram. I'm like, I don't know if it's not how it works, but okay.
But sometimes people, but it could work that way. You could. That's the good thing. It's a free tool that you can announce whatever you want on there. So if you have a show coming up, if you're practicing at home,
it's a great way to communicate. For sure.
I guess people, I don't know, on there they kind of feel like they're your friend, or there's so many different levels to it. But that's kind of, honestly, I planned to build a website for it, but we just haven't needed to because so many people, it's just been word of mouth. And when they find the walls, they tag us in it. When, I don't know. We did the first wall and then it just kind of blew up from there we didn't know how it was going to take form. And it just like different types of people just kept reaching out. And then, there were just so many different requests for different styles, different places, different. We travel to other cities too, so it's just been a fun adventure.
Where's somewhere out of town you guys have worked?
Florida, DC. We're waiting on a contract to get back for Las Vegas, and as soon as some of the travel bans lift, I'm going to paint in Australia, and
nice.
I have friends in Colombia, in
Not South Carolina.
not South Carolina,
Different
no.
Colombia.
Different Columbia.
South
Different
America.
Colombia.
South America. Someone reached out from Patagonia. I've always wanted to go there.
Like
Oh,
the
that's-
company or
No, I mean, I'll pay for Patagonia, the company, also. No, but like my big, next to art, travel is my big love. And so to be able to get paid to do what I love,
Yeah.
yes, please. That's
Yes,
all that I want.
sign me up.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, real quick, what were the Instagram tags?
Oh, so sorry. It's,
worries.
the art side is Duarte, DUARTE _designs, plural. And then me as a solo is just traveling gypsy with one L.
Okay.
Traveling _ gypsy, sorry. Yes, that's
Sweet.
me. Woo.
We'll post them on that, but if someone's listening on,
Yeah.
well, we really appreciate you coming by. Keep doing what you're doing. Let us know
you.
about your art. Let us
Thanks
know
for having
anytime.
me.
We
was awesome.
cannot wait to see it. Thanks.
Yay, thank you.
thanks.
All right, that was our conversation with Sydney Duarte. Make sure to check her out. She said her social is Duarte Designs, as well as the Traveling Gypsy. Check out what she's doing. Follow everywhere. They're putting up designs everywhere. It's such a cool.
Well, she's just such a great, positive person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like you get that. It just seems so genuine.
Yeah,
In the conversation.
Very,
Absolutely.
very genuine person. Very genuine person. We really enjoyed having her here. So, thanks everybody. Make sure to check and rate and review and share and tell your mama and all that kind of stuff. Hit the like button. We'll see you guys later. Take care. Be nice. Don't be a mean person. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, y'all.